Look closely at these images. You might think you're seeing scenes from a war zone, a forgotten country, or a place where society has simply broken down. But no, this is America. Right now.
Basically, I gave up my apartment in Santa Monica, which I lived for about 30 years there.
A lot of people think that they're free, but they don't take the time out to go there just to see. Yeah.
We're not like monsters out here. We're regular people. Most of us had normal jobs and lives.
More programs to help out disabled homeless people.
Across bustling cities, beneath glittering skyscrapers, symbols of wealth and opportunity, there are streets few dare to drive down, even in broad daylight. What were once peaceful neighborhoods are now overrun with makeshift tents, piles of trash, and rats scurrying everywhere. The eyes of those with nowhere to go reflect a silent, deep despair. How can this be happening in the richest country in the world? Billions of dollars are poured into social programs, yet the number of homeless Americans continues to skyrocket, reaching alarming levels. Even more shocking, in some areas, the danger is so extreme, even police officers hesitate to step in. Law and order seem to vanish, and fear forces ordinary people to leave. In this powerful documentary, we're going deep into 10 homeless hells, places that are truly the most dangerous in America. These are zones where basic safety, justice, and even hope have perhaps long disappeared. If you believe these problems don't concern you, that this could never happen in your community, then you need to watch until the very end. Because the sobering truth is, if they can lose everything, you could too. This video's content is compiled from credible sources and real-world observations. Our goal isn't to criticize any specific organization, but to offer a clear, multifaceted perspective. As a viewer, you'll gain the insight to reflect and form your own informed opinion. Are you ready to uncover these hidden truths of America? Let's start now. New York City, the very symbol of modern America. It's the global hub for finance, culture, fashion, and art. Millions flock here, chasing dreams of success, innovation, and a vibrant future. Yet hidden beneath the dazzling lights and iconic skyscrapers, thousands are quietly losing everything in this very city of opportunity.
I want people in our community to think about their mothers and their grandmothers and their grandfathers being homeless for the first time.
The statistics are stark. According to a recent report from the Coalition for the Homeless, New York currently grapples with over 90,000 people without stable housing, the highest number in the entire nation. In the heart of this ceaseless city, you'll find individuals choosing the subway as their nightly refuge, others curled up on park benches or seeking shelter under stairs. They clutch small backpacks, perhaps the last remaining treasures of their lives. What's truly unsettling is how accustomed New Yorkers have become to these scenes. Many no longer even pause to notice. So, how can a city synonymous with ambition and immense wealth face such a profound crisis? New York is famously known for having one of the highest living costs in the United States. The average rent for even a small apartment here often exceeds $3,000 per month. Contrast that with the average pension for many elderly individuals, which might only be around $1,600 to $2,000 per month. You can see a dinner costing $1,000 right around the corner, while an elderly person nearby quietly asks for a leftover piece of bread. This isn't a movie scene. It's the stark, daily reality playing out in Manhattan. The wealth gap in New York is as stark as the border between two different worlds. On one side, luxury restaurants and penthouse apartments define the skyline. On the other, you might find a 65-year-old former teacher, now homeless, wrapping himself in a worn-out blanket at a bus station because he can no longer afford even a basic sweater. While New York does have hundreds of charitable organizations, shelters, free kitchens, and housing subsidy policies, the system itself is often complex. Wait times for assistance can be incredibly long, and many vulnerable individuals simply cannot access help due to a lack of proper documentation, technological literacy, or untreated mental health issues. Tragically, some even choose to sleep outdoors, preferring the unpredictability of the streets over the crowded, privacy-lacking conditions of temporary shelters. The American dream is often said to begin in New York. But today, right here, for those who were once integral parts of society, that dream has become an unreachable luxury. It makes us wonder, has New York focused too much on building taller skyscrapers and forgotten about the very people living right beneath them? If a city like New York allows its citizens to fall into such dire situations, where else in America can truly be considered safe? Leaving the concrete jungle of New York, our journey brings us to the Pacific Northwest. Oregon, often painted as the Emerald City, with its lush landscapes and progressive ideals, now tells a different, chilling story. Just a few blocks off its scenic main roads, you'll encounter a stark reality. Areas where compassion has arguably faltered, giving way to unprecedented chaos.
Paper stands. Yeah, it was terrible. And I'm sleeping right over here on the bricks.
By the end of this year, over 18,000 people in Oregon are projected to be homeless, nearly half concentrated in Portland. Parks, once family-friendly, are now sprawling tent cities. The danger is so palpable that some districts advise residents not to walk alone after sunset. Emergency calls related to homelessness, including incidents and public disorder, have doubled in the past 2 years. Yet police and medical teams are increasingly hesitant to intervene in these overwhelmed zones. How did this humanitarian approach lead to such disarray? Portland's relaxed anti-camping laws, intended to be humane, inadvertently fueled the uncontrolled growth of tent camps, turning many neighborhoods into no-go zones. Millions are spent on aid, but efforts are crippled by a lack of manpower, oversight, and soaring construction costs. Meanwhile, housing prices have shot up 30% post-pandemic, pushing thousands onto the streets after even minor setbacks. This isn't just about numbers. It's about a single mother, once a library assistant, now hugging her children to sleep in an old car, terrified someone will knock on the door. I wake up early to shower at the gas station, just trying to keep my children looking normal so they can go to school, she shared, her voice filled with quiet despair. Her story is a chilling reminder that this isn't an isolated incident, it's a growing norm. Oregon still prides itself on tolerance, but tolerance without effective management has allowed chaos to flourish. The system here is crumbling. People are now forced to confront a terrifying question: could I be next? The reality in many unstable places proves that kindness, unchecked by strong governance, can become a gateway to uncontrollable disorder. The question remains, can Portland recover, or is this just the beginning of a grim new era for the Emerald City? From Oregon's rain-kissed streets, we travel north to Washington State. This is Seattle, birthplace of tech giants and a symbol of innovation and wealth. Yet, beneath its gleaming surface, a chilling reality unfolds. The fear of simply stepping outside each morning now dominates daily conversation. Washington faces a grim reality with over 25,000 homeless individuals. In Seattle, urban hubs like bus stations and hospital entrances tragically serve as makeshift beds for hundreds nightly. Damp sleeping bags and restless figures are common sights, often met with averted gazes. It's no longer about who is homeless, but a terrifying question of who will be next. A heartbreaking truth. Many are veterans who once shaped America, now struggling to reintegrate. Despite policies, assistance is often inaccessible due to documentation issues or complex systems. Economically, the pressure is immense. Seattle rents have surged over 40% in 5 years. How can a retired veteran on a basic pension afford an apartment exceeding $2,000 monthly? They are silently pushed to society's margins. These are not just numbers. A veteran, disabled by chronic back pain, shared, "I never thought I would be living in a bus station. A soldier shouldn't end his life like that, but in Washington, it happens every day." This paradox is stark. We honor flags, yet allow veterans to sleep in the rain, Do support our troops slogans hold meaning when heroes can't find a safe place to sleep? Seattle has wealth and resources, yet struggles to protect those who built it. If a city like Seattle, with all its advantages, succumbs to such despair, what grim future awaits less fortunate places across the nation? From the sleek skylines of Washington, we head south to Phoenix, once a sunny haven for retirees, now a place where summer heat becomes a matter of survival. They used to joke you could fry an egg on the sidewalk. For the homeless, it's no joke at all.
Oh, it's a struggle. It's something that you don't expect, but it might pop up on you at any time.
With over 100 days a year, above 110 degrees Fahrenheit, Phoenix summers are brutal. Shade becomes a lifeline. Behind gas stations and in forgotten parking lots, makeshift tents stretch under the blistering sun. What caused this? Not just the weather, but policies that didn't keep up with growth. Phoenix has seen a boom in development, but affordable housing hasn't followed. Rents have nearly doubled in the past decade, while incomes stayed flat. Shelters have closed. Support systems vanished. Now families are being pushed into the streets. One woman in her late 40s, a former nail tech, lost her job during COVID. She and her teenage son now live in their car. On the hottest days, they search desperately for shade, sometimes running out of gas before they find it. Consider the story of a woman nearing 50 who used to work at a nail salon. After the pandemic hit, the salon closed, she lost her job, and slowly, her home. With no money for rent, she and her 13-year-old son were forced to live temporarily in their car. On the hottest days, this mother and child desperately search for any shaded spot to park, but sometimes they run out of gas before finding one. Though they cling to hope, thinking about the future is a terrifying prospect. This isn't just their isolated story, it's a horrifying reality unfolding right in the heart of America. It's not just one story, it's thousands. Though the city has set up cooling stations and mobile teams, access is limited. Without transport, information, or trust in the system, many are left behind. Phoenix once promised comfort, but in 2025, it's a test of survival. And the question remains, will Arizona keep building million-dollar condos, while the people who made this city run sleep in the shadows? Or will we finally stop and decide who we're leaving behind? From Arizona's desert heat, we head east to Austin, Texas, a city known for guitars, good vibes, and big tech dreams. But just a few blocks from the bars and startups, the scene changes. Tents line sidewalks. People sleep under bridges, near bus stops, around Lady Bird Lake. Austin, once the heart of American creativity, now faces one of the fastest rising homeless populations in the country.
I'm homeless. I'm an ex-felon. I done 30 years in the penitentiary.
Over 5,000 people are unhoused here. Some live in cars parked beside glowing tech campuses, others in makeshift shelters, just steps from million-dollar condos. So how did we get here? It's not because Austin ran out of money. It's because it grew too fast and forgot who built it. In less than 10 years, average rent shot up more than 80%. Wages didn't. The workers who kept this city alive, servers, sound techs, teachers, got priced out. One former sound technician put it best. I used to mix music for crowds. Now I fall asleep to the sound of police boots walking past my tarp. Laws keep changing. At one point, public camping was allowed. Then it was banned again. So folks moved from one block to another, trying not to be seen, trying not to get chased off. It's a cruel cycle. Growth brought glass towers, but left too many behind. Austin still has its music, its energy, its hope. But the question is, will it remember the people who made it special in the first place? Because sometimes, all someone really needs isn't a handout, just a place to rest and to matter. From the wide plains of Texas, we head west to the glittering lights of Las Vegas. This is the city of luck, lights, and luxury. Millions come here every year to party, celebrate, or chase a dream. But behind the glitz and glamour, there's a side most tourists never see. Beneath the city, hidden in miles of storm drains meant to catch flash floods, over 1,500 people now live. In darkness, in cold, damp tunnels. Some say it's safer down there, cooler in the summer and out of sight. But one strong rain, and it could become a death trap. This isn't just homelessness. This is survival in its harshest form. The truth? Vegas offers thousands of jobs, but most are low-paying and unstable. A single layoff from a casino or restaurant and someone can go from a paycheck to the street in weeks. Rents have jumped over 35% in recent years, but wages haven't kept up. We're not talking statistics, we're talking about people. Like the 58-year-old woman who once served drinks to high rollers. After losing her job during the pandemic, she lost her home, and now lives underground. "It's scary," she told us quietly, "but at least it's cooler than the sidewalk. I just don't want to be seen." Las Vegas keeps growing. More luxury, more shows, more events. But as the city builds up, its most vulnerable are being pushed further down, into the dark. So here's the question. What does it say about the American dream when in a city made to dazzle, thousands have to hide beneath it just to survive? From the flashing lights of Las Vegas, we move into the crisp air of Colorado, a state known for its stunning mountains, blue skies, and promises of a better life. Cities like Denver are booming with tech jobs, outdoor culture, and opportunity. At least that's the image. But behind that postcard view, Colorado is facing a quiet crisis. Over 10,000 people here are without a stable home. And not just in Denver. Homeless camps are now showing up in small towns, near ski resorts, even on remote highways. It's a harsh truth. In a state known for wide open spaces, many still can't find a place to live. Colorado currently faces a significant and growing homelessness challenge, with over 10,000 people experiencing homelessness across the state. Why? It starts with cost. In just 5 years, Denver's home prices have jumped more than 50%. Rent has followed. For working-class families, owning a home, or even keeping up with rent, is slipping out of reach. And then there's the winter. When the snow hits and temperatures plunge, tents offer little protection. For people sleeping outside or in cars, survival becomes a daily battle. More and more families are now living in their vehicles. Mums and dads park in big box store lots, trying to keep their kids warm, trying to keep up appearances, even while the rules keep changing. New ordinances say no camping, no vehicle dwelling, leaving them nowhere to go. One woman, once a retail worker, shared her story after a medical emergency cost her both her job and apartment. Now she and her kids sleep in a minivan. "At night, the cold wakes me up," she says. "My kids ask why we can't go home, and I have no answer." Colorado loves to celebrate independence, the outdoors, the idea that if you work hard, you'll make it. But what happens when working hard isn't enough? This isn't just a housing issue, it's a human issue. As Colorado grows, are they leaving behind the very people who built it? From the mountains of Colorado, we arrive in Philadelphia. Once hailed as the birthplace of American democracy and proudly known as the city of brotherly love. But today, for thousands living on the streets, that promise of compassion feels broken. Nearly 6,000 people in Philly are now without stable housing. The crisis isn't hidden. You see it in public parks, on sidewalks, near train stations. Tents line the streets. People struggle openly while the city around them moves on. Nowhere is this more visible than Kensington Avenue, a place once full of life, now known for danger. Sidewalks are packed with encampments. Disease outbreaks have hit. Incidents are frequent. Residents avoid the area. Even news crews are warned to stay cautious. So how did we get here? Like many old industrial cities, Philly lost its manufacturing base long ago. Jobs vanished. Support systems broke down. And though the city has tried to help, with shelters, outreach, and programs, the scale of the problem is simply overwhelming. Too many people, not enough help. And the stories are heartbreaking. One man, once a construction worker, shared, "I used to build homes. Now I sleep on concrete. My tent is all I've got, and nobody really sees us." His voice was quiet, but his words cut deep. Philadelphia faces a hard choice: offer more compassion or crack down harder. So far, it's stuck in the middle, and people are paying the price. If a city built on freedom and community can fall this far, what hope is there for other cities facing the same struggles? The answer might lie in its name. But for now, that brotherly love feels more like a memory than a reality. From Philadelphia's troubled streets, we head to the American Midwest, to Chicago. Known for its deep dish pizza, jazz roots, and iconic skyline, this city also carries a deeper truth. Survival here, especially in winter, is a battle. Chicago faces a staggering homelessness crisis, with over 68,000 people affected yearly, including families and children. But what makes it especially brutal is the weather. Winters drop below -20 degrees Fahrenheit with wind chill. For those without shelter, frostbite and hypothermia aren't risks, they're near certainties. Many seek warmth in abandoned buildings, under bridges, or inside train cars. But these places offer little protection and lots of danger. Add to that the city's long-standing issues with poverty and incidents, and the fight for survival becomes even harder. Shelters exist, but they're often full. City services are difficult to navigate, and so thousands fall through the cracks. One former factory worker in his 50s said it best: "When it's that cold, every breath burns. You can't stop moving, but where do you go when every door is shut?" He used to walk these streets to work. Now, he walks them just to stay alive. Chicago is a city known for grit. But the question is, can a city really be called strong if it leaves its people out in the cold? The Windy City stands at a crossroads. It can keep building upward, or it can start reaching back to those freezing on the very streets it was built on. Our journey ends in Los Angeles, the city of stars, palm trees, and endless opportunity. At least that's what the brochures say. But just a few blocks from the Hollywood Walk of Fame, entire streets have turned into encampments. Skid Row alone stretches for blocks, housing thousands in tents and makeshift shelters. Los Angeles now holds the largest homeless population in America, over 75,000 people without stable housing. This isn't just a crisis, it's a collapse. Diseases like typhus and hepatitis A spread easily in the unsanitary conditions. Even emergency responders often hesitate to enter some areas. The system here isn't strained, it's broken. Housing costs are a major factor. The average rent in LA is over $2,800 a month, far beyond the reach of low-income workers or retirees. Add to that a lack of affordable housing, red tape, community resistance, and a fragmented support system. And it's no wonder so many are falling through the cracks. Take the story of a woman in her 40s. She once designed sets for indie films. Now, she sleeps on sidewalks not far from the movie studios. "I used to live near Hollywood," she said. "Now, my walk of fame is dodging broken glass and trying to find clean water." Los Angeles still shines on the surface. But behind the glitz is a humanitarian crisis that's growing harder to ignore. If a city this rich, this influential, can't take care of its most vulnerable, what does that say about the rest of us? The golden dream hasn't disappeared. But for thousands, it's become a daily fight to survive in the shadows of a city built on fantasy. We've seen how the American dream shatters for thousands, caught between soaring costs, policy gaps, and desperate circumstances. This isn't just about statistics, it's about real people, often overlooked, fighting for survival. Homelessness in America isn't a local issue, it's a profound national crisis. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about our collective values, If the wealthiest nation on earth cannot provide a basic roof for its most vulnerable, what does that say about our priorities? This challenge demands more than just empathy. It calls for urgent, systemic change and a renewed commitment to human dignity. The time for looking away is over. The future of our cities and indeed our nation depends on how we choose to respond. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. The information in this video is compiled from reliable sources and public reports, aimed at analysis and providing a reference perspective. The video is not intended to incite panic, personal criticism, or provide financial or legal advice. Viewers should consider and verify additional information related to their personal circumstances before making any decisions.